Hi, this is my early retirement check-in. I retired last November when I was 35. I did the first check-in video about a month in after retirement, and I found it really helpful as I can get to process my thoughts. The transition to retirement was actually much more complicated than I thought, and I'm still in the transition. So I hope to do this type of check-in videos more often and also give you a perspective of someone who's already pulled the trigger and retired. So I hope it's helpful. So it's been about over 3 months since I retired. A lot of our friends ask my husband Tyler and I about how life is like after retirement. I feel like they imagined us sitting around doing nothing, and I had to tell them that it's actually much busier than when I had a job. So I filmed the whole video with introducing myself. Hi, if you are new here, my name is Angie from Stroll to Freedom. My husband Tyler and I, we strolled to freedom in 6 years. Then I got laid off and we retired on the same day. So we are here to share all the experiences along the way and about life after fire. If there's one thing you can take away from this video, it would be financial freedom is the best thing that you can buy for yourself. But financial freedom itself is actually another type of currency. And the currency doesn't do anything by itself. It's only when you trade it for flexibility, options, decisions, and that's when you really get the value from it. So freedom's value is only ever as much as what you trade for. In this video, I want to talk about 3 things. The first one is I'm still reorienting myself, realizing that this transition to retirement actually takes much longer than I thought. The second thing is traveling, something that Tyler and I used to love so much, actually feels different now. The last one is why I said we got much busier than before. So let's talk about reorientation. In my last video, I thought that after the first month, everything started to settle and I got into the new routine of early retirement, but I was quite not there. Even 3 months later, I'm still in the transition. What makes it really hard is how my brain is wired so much into the old habits of having a job. So from Monday to Friday or weekdays, I want to be productive. I want to work on projects, taking care of errands, house chores, etc. And Saturday and Sunday would be weekends when we go out and hang out with friends. During weekdays, I have working hours. So my peak performance usually from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. But recently we had a lot of sunny days and I looked out and then I felt so FOMO. I was like, oh, now I have freedom. Why can't I just go out and enjoy the sun? Why am I sitting here working? But my brain is just so wired to this is what I need to do. This is how I should be productive. And then there's certain errands that would be much more efficient to do during weekdays when it's less crowded, less traffic. But for some reason, I didn't want to interrupt my working hours to do errands. So I would save it for later in the day or on the weekend. And also going out for the two of us, we've been taking a lot of spontaneous nature walks. That's our way of spend quality time with each other. So we used to do it during the weekdays. But in terms of actually going out for the whole day or going to see friends, we tend to do it a lot more on the weekends. I think it's just something in the air, the collective energy on the weekends when people feel more relaxed, we're more going out, and then we catch that energy and want to do those activities as well. A lot of internal tension in me between knowing that, I have the freedom, it's sunny, I should go out, but also I have the old habit of being productive, optimizing my peak performance hours to do work. But it's not really work. This is just like a passion project that I want to do. And we also have financial stuff we need to tidy up because this retirement came as more or less of a surprise to us, even though we were planning for it for many, many years. I mean, for as long as we have been on the FIRE journey, but it was decided to happen to us. We didn't actively pull the trigger, so we're still working on it. I think in the past, there was not much of attention. I knew that I had to work and that was it, even though it was sunny outside. But now I had the tension that I don't really need to have to work. I can just go out and enjoy the sun, but I have to weigh which one that I prefer to do more and which one would give better benefits in the short and long terms. Yeah, it is something that I'm trying to balance because I think in retirement, you have this guilt of not spending the freedom currency efficiently. Whenever I feel like I have the option to do that, but I'm not doing that. And that guilt of, oh, am I really using the freedom correctly? Why am I here on my desk? So I think that's something I need to work on, be very intentional how I use my time and then not get sucked into the old habits. Or if I'm already still having that old habit, I have to make peace with it. So the second thing is about traveling. It actually feels different than before. Recently, we decided to do an open-ended road trip. On the road trip, we wanted to test out how we can lower lodging costs as much as possible. I did a whole video on it if you want to check it out. But it was a fun and rough trip because we tested out different ways to save money, and we also didn't have a plan. There's no itinerary. We just left the house, went on the road trip. We saw a lot of friends, a lot of my former coworkers, and also my relatives. It was really sweet and fun, but at the same time, because we didn't have a single plan for that trip, so we just dragged the day on. We woke up, meditated, took a walk, went to a cute grocery, and then we slowly made our way down to South California. And we were so ambitious that we thought that we're gonna make it to LA and then went to Las Vegas and then Grand Canyon. But after the first night, we were like, okay, maybe we want to shorten it a little bit. And then as days went by, it got so rough that we decided to just end it on the 16 days of our road trip. So when we make it to LA, we turn back. Even though we really enjoyed many parts of the trip, but there was this thing in me that I felt that I missed home, and that usually didn't happen because right before we left for the trip, I had a really good routine. I was really enjoying the time at home after retirement. But then I have this is also another old habit. I have this travel bug in me that I want to go on a trip. So we decided to, okay, let's go on a trip, right? And just because I had such a good time at home, it made me enjoy the trip less. And because of the rough condition that we put ourselves in as well. But I think before I associate home with half living and half working. So it's always kind of fun to be out away from that environment and refresh our mind and enjoy new experiences. But now home feels 100% home, and even more than that, we started to have a lot of friends over. We love to cook dinner for them. So it feels even more than the home that we had before, which makes it hard to leave. So that's why like travel us now was less of running away from a work environment and taking a break. It's almost more like shifting to another vacation mode. And yeah, because of that, in a way, we enjoy it a little bit less. And another thing, the context switch. I was so excited about coming back to it, but after we came back, it took us a little bit to transit back. So that 1 week was uncomfortable for both of us just because we're still recovering from the trip and we wanted to get back to our daily routines. So that agitation created the discomfort in us. It's just something interesting to observe because we used to travel for 6 months a year, and now it just feels a tiny bit different leaving home. But I feel like everything is just adjusting to the new life, to the new way of thinking. So we should have to be patient with that. We actually have 2 more trips planned. So that travel bug will be always in me. I think if anything, it makes me cherish the time that I have at home even more. I enjoy being at home a lot more, but I cannot not travel. So whenever I'm back home, I just really appreciate it. So yeah, I think that's the weird tension that I have between traveling and being at home. I know myself, I cannot travel less, but at least now I want to really be intentional when I'm at home. I want to have a lot of more quiet time and also seeing a lot of more friends, deepening the connection with the community that we have here. I hope it makes sense. Over the past few months, I have become a lot busier than when I had a job. When I had a job, I got busy because of deadline, work pressure, and I also had to squeeze in time to do errands, to do chores, to take care of important things outside of work. So it's a constant busyness because of job responsibilities, and I had to use whatever time left on other things. But being busy during retirement is due to multiple factors. So now I don't have a deadline, right? I don't have the fire under me. I'm taking forever to do things. So everything takes a little bit longer. It is a little bit less efficient. But I also look at it as a way to practice mindfulness. I intentionally slow down on daily activities. And because of that, so the same to-do list would take longer in retirement than when I was at work. And another Another thing is it can be very impulsive. I think back when I had a job, I had a formal structure. Everything that was not a priority, I would delay them. Now, because there's not really a sense of urgency, a sense of time scarcity. For example, in the morning after I worked out and I saw house chores, I would get on it. While in the past, I would be like, okay, I can do it after work. I'm very impulsive towards house chores. So if I see something that needs to be cleaned, to be mopped, to be organized, I would get on it, even though I know those things are not the best thing for me to spend my time during my peak performance hours. And then if I get on a rabbit holes, I would be at it for a few hours. Before I got on a topic that I was curious about, I would be on it for maybe half an hour, and then I would be like, okay, I need to wrap it up now so I can go to bed and then get up the next day to go to work. But now there was no constraint. When I got on something, especially like random things on social media, on Reddit, I would go down into that rabbit holes for hours. And then I was like, okay, I don't think I used my freedom currency that well. The last thing, which is very obvious, that I stay really busy is because now I can work on passion projects. I just spend a lot of more time on it. I have some friends who walk away from corporate jobs to become full artists. They are so brave. I really admire them. And they told me when you are working on your own things, you work a lot harder for longer hours, but you don't feel tired. When I heard it, I didn't quite understood it. Now I do. Now I can see myself being obsessed over projects, over things. Even making this YouTube, it would take me forever to edit every single video just because I'm so new to this whole thing. But I kept working from day to night. And that's the thing, because I don't feel tired, so I cannot pull myself away from it. And it's just so engaging mentally and intellectually that it's really fun to work on things like that. While at work, I had a different mindset. I shared it before. Every job that I had was extremely transactional. I deliver what I was asked for, and that's pretty much it. I didn't feel like going beyond at my work. It's not because I didn't love what I did, but it's more like I have other things in life too that I am interested in, that I want to spend my time on. And then I'm the type that I don't really enjoy living a life without balance, because I've been meditating for a very long time. So I'm so used to having my emotions more like this rather than this. And having a life with so many obsessions make me feel like my emotions going high up, going on trips, seeing friends, doing really exciting things. In the past, it would get my dopamine serotonin to spike up, but now it's more like this. And I prefer it. I enjoy it more. I feel more at ease with that. So that's why when it comes to work-life balance, even with passion projects / life balance, I want it to be more like this as well. I've been telling myself to be careful, to not be too obsessed with whatever I was working on. Because there was a week I was at my desk day to night, didn't feel tired, just going at it. In another life, I would be someone who's so determined, laser focused on things, but it's not this life. This life, I just want to be living a more boring life, more at ease with myself. So for myself, being so obsessed over something is just not sustainable for me. The last thing is when I'm working on it for long hours, sometimes it felt like shifted towards something like work, and I wouldn't want that. I don't want whatever I'm working on feel like work. For example, with this YouTube thing, I don't have the pressure of generating income from it, but somehow I have this invisible pressure of making videos to post it more frequently. So I have to be more mindful of it. I had to tell myself that it's okay, Angie, you do as much as you can, enjoy it, and don't put too much pressure on yourself. I don't want to spend my freedom feeling pressure from my imagination. So it's not even a real pressure, it's just me pressuring myself. Yeah, I got a lot of busier, but I also tell myself to have to be a lot more intentional and mindful, because time goes by. Now that I have more doesn't mean that it is infinite. At the end of the day, the overarching goal that I have is to practice mindfulness. So everything else is a bonus, an add-on, and I shouldn't be consumed so much by them. And talking about mindfulness practice, so this is the progress I have made so far. So I have been crushed this meditation group. I wanted to go to a group meditation in person, and I found this group. I showed up, and then I found out that they had 1.5 hours of meditation. So I literally just showed up, crushed their meditation, and went home. Rarely talked to anyone. I didn't even know what tradition that they practice, what technique that they use. All I did was sitting with them and doing the whole 1.5 hours meditation with them. Even the instructor came to me a few times asking, do you have any questions? And I was like, no, I don't. I just want to sit with everyone. Now Tyler's going with me, and he talked to the instructor and they found out about the technique and such. But yeah, it's just kind of funny. I've been having this online meditation group since COVID, so I joined it more frequently now. And then recently, I also found a hybrid meditation group. I can join via Zoom or in person. So each week I would join 3 different meditation groups, one online, one in person, and one hybrid. So I'm really making an effort to create better conditions for my mindfulness practice. And at the end of this month, I'm gonna go to a 10-day meditation retreat. That's something I've been doing every year except for last year. So I'm glad that I can do this again this year, despite all the other things about transitioning to retirement, how complicated things is, how I am so wired to old habits. As long as I'm creating more and better conditions for my mindfulness practice, I feel like I am on the right track, because this is the whole point of me achieving financial freedom. Yeah, so that's my goal. I hope you also have a goal that really helps pushes you towards financial freedom. Again, financial freedom is the best thing, the very best thing you can buy for yourself. And where it really shines is how you use it for what you value the most in life. So those are my thoughts after 3 months of being in early retirement. Hope they are helpful, and I hope you keep pushing, staying on your stroll to financial freedom, and don't forget to be mindful and enjoy the present moment along the way. All right, bye now.